Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Very excited for this. The first big charge automation live session. We got lots planned here to share with everybody. So thank you so much for joining. My name is Austin. I am part of the sales team here at Charge Automation. We are also joined with Toyin, our head of product, as well as Nick, our head of marketing and growth. So us three will be pretty much talking through a lot of the new features that we've added this past little bit here, and making sure that we're answering questions as they come in. Well, ask your questions as we are going through everything, and we'll do a live Q&A at the end here. So. Perfect. I'm going to just talk a little bit about what we're going to really cover on this live session. So first thing we wanted to introduce is the overall guest experience platform that we've built. The product team here has been hard at work for the past couple months working on this update, so we're really excited to show you. So we'll talk about those game-changing products, the product reveals. We have lots to go through. We'll try and keep it quick and concise, so then you can ask the questions about these new product updates, so you get the most out of it. We'll also run through some real case studies. So we'll talk a little bit about some of our clients that are using us to get solutions for certain issues they've had in the past, and then we'll finish everything with a live Q&A. So asking those questions, and myself, Nick, Toyin, we will answer them as they come in. So the next part, I just want to make sure everyone knows, since this is, we're doing a live Q&A, please drop your comments in the event, in the LinkedIn event comment box. That's the way we'll kind of see them live here, and we'll be able to address them. We'll pretty much answer all the questions you've had at the end of the session. So just kind of ask them, and we'll bank those questions, making sure that we have them saved for you. So, and we'll make sure we'll get to all of them. And ask any type of questions about check-ins, payments, deposits, integrations. Doesn't have to be specific on what we're talking about. Just anything charge automation, we're happy to chat about. Fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much the opener I wanted to go through. So now I think we'll talk a little bit about just an overview of charge automation, making sure that we're all on the same page. So Charge Automation, we're a full-fledged guest experience platform. We are following your guest's journey from the check-in all the way to the checkout. We have pretty much a 100% contactless check-in and guest verification system built in. We have secure payments and security deposit collections. We have over 120 different payment gateways that we can connect to your property management system and to your business, so you can collect money from different countries that you want to operate in. We also have things like digital rental agreements, e-signatures, to make sure that you're collecting those automatically from your guests. And then we have a full-fledged guest guidebook with smart lock codes, access codes, frequently asked questions built all into the guidebook. And a place you can put any information you need your guests to have. We are also really big on upsells. We've created one-click upsells. They very easy for guests to come in, pick a upsell that they need, and purchase it with ease. Of course, we're going to be integrating with all of the major property management systems and smart locks. We have lots of integrations there to make sure no matter where you are, which technologies you're using, you're able to take advantage of Charge Automation. And all built in through this entire system is zero fraud. There's no fraudulent chargebacks that's ever happened on Charge Automation, which is fantastic. We have higher conversion on guests going through this, purchasing upsells, and we're saving your teams a lot of time. So that's just an overall snapshot of what Charge Automation is all about. But you're probably all here to learn a bit more about what these new features are. Maybe you got some hints throughout on our social medias throughout the last couple of weeks. So what I'll do is I'll hand this off to Toyin to talk a little bit about those product updates.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Austin. Nothing gets me more excited than to talk about our features and our product. So thank you so much. Again, my name is Toyin, head of product at ChargeAutomation. I'm just going to jump right into it. The first feature we want to talk about is seamless check-in messaging via Airbnb, Booking.com, and more. We're super excited to announce a powerful new feature in ChargeAutomation that allows seamless messaging with OTAs, like I mentioned, Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, and more. This update simplifies the communication and enhances the guest interactions across all platforms. With this update, your guests will see the ChargeAutomation links in their OTA inbox. Now, this is very powerful. For example, Airbnb doesn't share the email address of the guest, but now because we have this feature, the messages and the links will go directly to the inbox and they can interact it that way. Another feature I want to talk about is the property custom fields. A lot of property managers have asked, and we listened. You want images, videos, and links in your property custom fields, and that's exactly what we're giving you the ability to do. Now you can format each property custom field text to fit your exact needs, right? In the screenshot you see above on the slide right now, sorry.
Seem to have some network issues there. Toyin, you back?
You know what? If we do have a little bit of network issues, I can still chat a little bit about this as well.
I apologize. Can you guys not hear me?
I think you just cut out just for a little bit, but yeah, if you're ready to go again, you can keep at it.
So I apologize. Where did I stop? Someone just called me. I think Thomas. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, I do apologize.
Sorry, guys. I think we have a little bit of a technical problem here. We will carry on. Austin, do you want to carry on your side just until we got Toyin back again?
Sorry, yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Austin? Yeah. Oh, sorry. I can hear you.
I'm good? Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't know if one of you guys can message.
We hear you loud and clear. Carry on, Toyin.
Okay. I apologize, everyone. So where I stopped was in the screenshot you see right now, this is an actual real client setup. And what you can see they've done is they've embedded the images and videos. So previously what would happen is, let's say you want images and videos in your guides, you would have to create multiple guides. But with this update, you can create one guide and use your property text custom fields across the table, right? So this really simplifies your guides operation. Now you set up guides, now you set up your property text, and now you set up custom fields. The other feature I want to talk about is automatic AI powered, let me just slide here, AI powered guest screening verification. I'm super excited to talk about this one. This is our new guest screening and verification feature. We now offer biometric screening. So previously in ChargeAutomation, you could collect documents and selfies, and you have to manually verify those yourself to ensure it's the right document. But now with our new guest screening and verification feature, we do a real-time check on the document uploaded to ensure it's a valid document, right? And we also do a liveness check for the selfie. And then once we get that, we do a biometric check to ensure it's the right guest. Our clients already using this feature are super happy because it removes the manual task of guest verification from them, and it's completely automated without the need for a property manager to lift a finger. With ChargeAutomation's automatic ID verification, you can screen guests in seconds, safeguarding your investments from potential risk. And by identifying red flags, so we'll tell you if there's a red flag. By identifying those red flags before check-in, you can protect your properties, reduce damages, and gain a peace of mind, all without extra effort. And our guest verification feature allows guests to complete verification easily and seamlessly because they're already using our guest portal, right? And they do all this even before getting to the property. Now, This feature was a very common request by a few property managers that wanted to do certain things outside Charge Automation. So if you're looking to push data from Charge Automation to your CRM, to your accounting software, or to third-party tools, now you can do that effortlessly. With our Zapier integration and webbook functionality, you can seamlessly update and sync data across your business applications. And this ensures that all the data from your PMS, from Charge Automation, is all synced back to a third-party application, and you don't miss any data. Now, Charge Automation, we're always excited to expand our integrations. So now we integrate with top lock providers in the industry, and many more coming before the end of the quarter. So right now we have Remote Lock and TT Lock. These are two of the most common ones that we've heard that people wanted to use, and now you have access to this on Charge Automation. We have also integrated with top payment gateways, and some notable ones I will mention now is Global Payments, OpenPayMX, dLocal, and Yapstone, and a few others. So if your payment gateway is not yet, please send us a message to support, and we'll see if we can support it, or it's most likely it's already supported. Another big feature that we did was importing custom fields from PMS into Charge Automation. We always want to speed up onboarding for our property managers within Charge Automation. So one very cool feature we just introduced is importing property custom fields into Charge Automation. So what does this mean? This means right when you connect your PMS within Charge Automation, automatically your custom fields from your PMS is imported into Charge Automation, which you can then use in your messaging to your guest and also your guidebook. So this ensures that your data in the PMS and the data in Charge Automation is always in sync. And for example, you don't create custom fields in your PMS and have to create the same custom fields in Charge Automation now. Everything will be synced from your PMS into Charge Automation. So previously, we detected virtual cards for some PMSs, but now we detect virtual card bookings for almost all PMSs in Charge Automation. And this means that when the booking comes into Charge Automation, excuse me, when the booking comes into Charge Automation, we would detect what payment method it is and follow the booking source rule for when the charge should be. So this ensures that the right payment method is charged for that reservation and no manual checks is required from your end. Charge Automation now supports Apple Pay and Google Pay. What does this mean? This gives your guest more payment options, faster checkouts, and better guest experience and lower fraud risk, right? So more payment option methods. And currently, we're also adding 50 payment methods like SEPA. I do not pronounce that. I probably said that wrong, but it's SCPA, SEPA, bank transfer, and also Klarna. Again, this has been our biggest release yet, and it's packed with some game changers. So we've spoken about OTA messaging. We've spoken about property text, which now supports images, videos, and rich formatting. We've spoken about guest screening and verification, how you can push data from Charge Automation to third-party applications using Zapier. We've spoken about our integration with Remote Lock, TT Lock, and other payment gateways. We've spoken about importing property custom fields, detecting virtual card bookings for more PMSs, Apple Pay and Google Pay support. But yeah, there's one more thing we have to talk about. As you all know, seeing is believing. And like I said, nothing gets me more excited about talking about what we've done in Charge Automation. And the biggest thing till date, and this is the biggest thing for me, my team, our clients, and in my opinion, in our opinion, the biggest news in the industry, we have a brand new guest portal in pre-check-in. And it's, when I say this, people have been asking for this for about 2 years now. And finally, we're going to do an unveiling. So I'm going to pass this on to Austin to talk about a new guest portal and pre-check-in.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much, Dwayne. Yeah, I share your excitement and kudos for you for, battling like a little bit of a cold and still coming in, for this webinar and doing all that. So thank you. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly what the new guest experience looks like. Perfect. I just want to make sure. Fantastic. Okay. So right here we have the first step of the process, just to make sure we all know where we kind of are in the flow. a guest has booked on whichever OTA that you're connected with, and it's flown into your property management system, your PMS. We then have seen that. That's where we've connected to you. It's through your PMS. We then will be the first email or text message that goes out to your guest. And the other great thing about this is we can also, like Toyin mentioned, we can also now send this link directly into your OTA's messenger. So like think an Airbnb messenger, you could have this link, boom, right into the messenger. So the big thing here that we want to highlight is your brand, making sure that your guests are noticing your logo, the name, the property that they're booking, making sure that they feel safe, comfortable, that this is a process, this is a flow that's made specifically for them. So they're going to click that link in their email, for example. Now this is going to bring them to a web-based browser that's made specifically for their stay. They don't have to plug in a booking ID or anything like that. We're going to pull all this information from your PMS into this flow. So the guest will see the check-in dates that they've already confirmed, their confirmation number. We can, of course, get them to agree to terms and conditions as well. So rental agreement, for example. And we'll jump into it. So a lot of times, property management companies will have certain information that they want to collect from guests. We can confirm those things here. So a big one, probably a lot of you have dealt with, is masked email addresses from OTAs like Airbnb, for example. We can notice if the guest has plugged in a masked email address and prompt them to plug in a real email address. And now with the new Zapier integration, we can pretty much create a database of phone numbers, email addresses to drive direct businesses, to get more direct bookings for your property management company. And yeah, you can export all that information right into a CRM if that's important to you. So the next part is payments. So big part of ChargeAutomation, of course, is payment and payment management, managing your payment flows. So really, when it comes to payments, you can set this up however you'd like. If you're collecting, for example, in this scenario, a first little payment from the OTA, through the OTA, and then you want ChargeAutomation to do the balance, you can set that up here like that. And you can also, of course, do security deposits as well. Really helpful to set up security deposits per property. You can really play around with the customization, making sure that you're at least charging a certain amount for security deposits. And a really cool part, especially for property management companies that are using Stripe, is we'll pull the information, the credit card information from Stripe right into this session, which means your guest doesn't have to plug in their credit card a single time in this flow. If you're not using Stripe, of course, they don't have to plug it in once. But the great thing about this is adding a layer of convenience to your guest, seeing that, oh, wow, yeah, there's my credit card, biff, bam, boom. The other part is trust, is saying, okay, this program already has my credit card in. That makes me feel good. They're not asking for that once again. So it's a really nice touch. So tons of custom information you might need to collect from your guest. This could be a place where you could put it. So you can, if you had specific questions for your guests or information you want to collect, you can create any sort of responses from your guests, either, yes, no, an open field text box to get them to answer, maybe what's your reason for your visit, things like that. And then if you're doing certain upsells, like doing an airport pickup, and you want to collect that airport information on when they're coming in, you can also collect that here. This is another big part that Toyin mentioned, was the identification for your guests. So your guests can plug in either ID, driver's license, national ID card, passport. This can, of course, activate the camera on their phone. They can take that photo right then and there. And we can also do the selfie as well, making sure that the guest activates the camera, takes the selfie right then and there, and uploads it. So what Toyin was mentioning earlier is that automatic biometric scanner. So we can now automatically verify, is there an actual person in this selfie, not a cat or something like that? And does this person match the photo in the ID? Making sure we actually have an ID that is valid. And then, yeah, we can pretty much send a verification, like a thumbs up or a thumbs down, to the PMS to make sure that your team knows which guests have been verified and which ones have not. Beautiful. So next is the upsells. So these are different add-ons, fully customizable for your business. Another really cool thing that this is showing off here is a little bit of the rich text format, adding those videos, adding extra photos, GIFs, really whatever can entice your guests to purchasing these types of add-ons. A big thing I love to talk about the add-ons is a lot of times you might have a very busy day and a guest is requesting an early check-in and you just won't be able to do it. You don't want to, of course, collect that money and then happen to decline it. So you can set up certain upsells to be by request only. So early check-in, for example, your guest can throw in that alert. Your team would get that request. You take a look at the calendar, decide, okay, yep, we can do an early check-in today, and then as long as you click approve, then the money would be taken automatically. And if not, it will not be taken, which is really nice. So you don't have to refund any upsells. And yeah, you can set up any of these like you like. If you're also looking to do some mandatory ones, like a special tourism tax or whatever might be applicable to your property management company, you can set those up as well. And then, of course, the other cool thing is that the actual credit card is still saved in the session, so it's not like they're having to plug it in once again. And then, yeah, just a nice little overview of the information they've added, getting them to sign digitally, digital signature of the, terms and conditions, your rental agreement, for example, that's all part of the flow. And once they've done the pre-check-in experience, now we're going to push them right into the virtual guidebook. So once again, we really want to have your brand first. Once again, the logo of your company, the actual company name, the picture of the place that they're staying. Now this can be a fantastic hub for your guests to receive information that they need during their stay and reduce the amount of interaction that you have to have with your guest. So a cool thing ChargeAutomation can do as well is bar certain information from being available until certain requirements have been met. So for example, door lock code. If you have a guest coming in, booking 3 months in advance, you don't want them to have their door lock code right away. So what we can do, if we click it here, is, it looks like this information will be available within 2 hours before check-in time. This can be fully customizable. We can also add certain requirements, maybe that a security deposit is on file and the guest has been verified, for example. Those can be two of those things. You can do the same thing with, things like Wi-Fi codes or any other information that you might not want your guests to be privy to until they're actually checking in. We can set up directions as well. Any sort of customizations and information you want to provide your guests, you can do that. We also have more upsells that you can set up here. So if you would like to have unique upsells that are only available during the guest stay, maybe a bottle of champagne or a mid-stay cleaning, these are upsells that you can prompt your guests to purchase during their stay to increase your revenue. And then, of course, all the other information that we've collected will be here. Another cool thing we can do is collect information from multiple guests, which is definitely a feature that resonates with a lot of different property management companies. Understanding who else is staying. Do you need their ID on file in certain areas? You can set all this up and make sure you're collecting all this from your tertiary, secondary and tertiary guests. So yeah, those are kind of the big things I wanted to talk about. Of course, really excited to hear from some of the some people here about what they're thinking of the new and improved look. I know I didn't really talk too much about languages, but of course, the pre-check-in experience and the guidebook will default to your guest's language for their browser, but they always have the ability to change the language at the top as well. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to stop sharing. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Okay.
We lost the slides there.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, we did. No worries. I'll fix that one for you right now. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
It's one of the niggles when you're doing a live presentation. It just, you have to get it absolutely bang on. All right. Where are we? We were down here. Oh, too far. Oh dear. Okay, right. Well, you've got a sneak peek there.
I know, a little sneak peek. So we have just one more thing. I know the guest experience rehaul was pretty exciting, but we got just one more thing for you. So Nick, maybe I'll let you talk about this one.
Yeah, thanks, Austin. Great to be here, guys. And thank you for all the questions, by the way. I'm slowly trying to manage them all in the background here. This one is really exciting for me because I'm actually based in Spain. So this affects me massively. And ChargeAutomation is very proud to announce that we are coming to Spain. So Hola España. We are now going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks our CEST hospedaje solution. So those of you that have properties in Spain will very well know that you have to register with the police. It's a complicated affair, and there are very few providers out there that offer this solution. And those that do provide the solution simply don't have the same feature set that we can offer. So really, really proud of to have this one. And I will be applying this to my properties in Spain. And we're currently testing it right now. And we'll be releasing it, like I said, in the next couple of weeks. And that'll give you the full hospedajes SES experience. It's fully compliant, and it gives you all the other features you have and you love from ChargeAutomation. So a really, really big deal. Huge kudos to Toyin and the rest of his team who made this happen. And this is a great one. So nice work, guys.
Fantastic.
So I will check the questions afterwards because I'm managing everything back and forth.
Yeah.
I actually want to carry on at this a little bit here because, like I said, I joined ChargeAutomation fairly recently, and all I have to say, it's a phenomenal product. And I came across ChargeAutomation myself because I needed a solution. I needed something that would give me that guest experience. And when I joined, I realized the number of property managers out there that are really thriving from using this platform. And it does give you a lot of solutions. It gives you a huge amount of flexibility. And I just want to share 3 use cases that we have. These are genuine use cases. And there are literally, there's well over 100 of these things that we have floating around. But essentially, we can start with Arian, for example, from Avalon Suites. He has more than 450 properties. And what he's found is that by using ChargeAutomation, he was able to reduce the amount of overhead that he spends dealing with guests. And as a property manager myself, I can tell you very well, it takes up a huge amount of your time just going back and forth, as little as sharing the Wi-Fi code, sharing the access keys, sharing where the pool times are, where even the pool is. But by using a platform or using ChargeAutomation, you can provide all that information upfront with one single link. And that makes that process so much better. And Aaron has clearly benefited from that. We also have Andrew from Upstate. He manages over 600 properties. So like I said, ChargeAutomation can deal with, one property all the way up, and it scales infinitely. and he had a huge problem with fraud. And as you can see, if you have a fraud rate of 6% over 600 properties, that's going to be costing you. But by using ChargeAutomation and using the payment fraud protection that we have, he was able to reduce that to 0. So the savings to him were absolutely massive. So it protects him, it protects his guests, and it makes sure that his bottom line revenue isn't affected by any fraudulent transactions. So that was a huge win for Upstate. And the final one I want to talk about is Erin. She's from Life Suites Loft, and she has about 200 properties. One of the features that she really highlighted was the upselling. And this is a really big deal. Everyone's talking about this in 2025. We just came back from the Short Stay Summit. Everyone's talking about upselling. We have that feature, it's there, and you can use it right away. You don't have to do anything. You don't need to be a tech developer to enable it. You just get it set up and you're up and running. The great thing with upselling is it applies to anything, whether it be an early check-in, a late checkout, some additional pillows, e-bike rentals, which is what I'm currently using it for with Kingfisher Apartments. Anything you like, whatever you want to upsell, you can apply that to ChargeAutomation, and it works. So Erin herself, she managed to generate an additional $90,000 extra every year. And that was a little while ago, so you can imagine the difference it is today. So yeah, these success stories really make ChargeAutomation stand out, and it shows you why using this platform is a really big thing for yourselves as property managers. So yeah, those are some of the success stories we have here. Let's kind of wrap things up. So I guess the bit that you guys are all waiting for is the Q&A session. There's a lot of questions coming in. I'm going to have to filter out a few, so we won't have time for everything. We're going to start it right now. And like I said, we'll probably see how we run along. But if we run out of time, we will get back to you, all your questions. So if you have asked a question, we don't have it here, we don't answer it right away live, we will get back to you. So let's start with a couple of questions. Austin, Toyin, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go.
I just pulled up the chat. This is great. I was not expecting this many questions. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm going to put the first one on page here. So we have Drum Circle Spirit. Question about upsells. Yeah. So unfortunately, it doesn't all fit on there, but he says a few of my upsells need approval before being confirmed, and clients find it very odd. Oh, hang on, keeps moving it. Very odd when I create them. Very odd, and create them in a resistance to see that they have clicked on Pay Now button before they are confirmed. Almost anywhere else online, nobody is required to pay for a product which purchase is not confirmed. So I think, Toyin, you can answer this one perfectly, because I think we manage this. You don't have to kind of submit payments up front for an online purchase. We can do this afterwards.
Yes, so this one is interesting. The idea behind this is an authorization, not a charge, right? So the simplest way to explain this is when a request is made, to manage it for the property manager, right? To manage it where it's risk-free is what we call it. We do an authorization on the card, and if you reject it, it's released. If you accept it, it's charged, right? So your guest is actually not getting charged for the upsell until you confirm that upsell. That's the simplest way to put that, right? So yes, they see it pay now. And what we've seen property managers put maybe in the upsell description, whatever they do is you will not be charged for this upsell until it's confirmed, right? So the short answer is you don't get charged until the upsell request is confirmed by you, the host.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying here, we have the pre-authorization, and I guess that's a great way to manage that one. So yeah,
exactly. Not getting dinged by collecting and then refunding it if you do have to decline it. That can get pricey. So yeah,
awesome.
This is made to make sure that you don't have to do that.
So Drum Circle, I don't have your name, but I've got the company name there. So good question. Thank you for that. That's an interesting one. Okay, so we have another question here from Martin Guda. Will we be able to use another integration other than Zapier? I call it Zapier, but hey, let's
Zapier, I know. It's interchangeable, right?
It's the British in me.
Yes, great question. So yes, you can use other integrations other than Zapier. What we've done is we've built a webhook functionality within ChargeAutomation. So essentially think about it as, let's say you use Make, you use any other tool, they'll give you a URL, right? And then you just post that within ChargeAutomation, and we would trigger a webhook to that URL that you posted. So the short answer is yes, you can.
Awesome. That sounds good. Sorry, I'm struggling here with the overlays and everything coming up. So let's. That's a great. That's a really interesting one. Let's go to Oh my goodness, I hope I pronounce this. Kanisha, let's hope Kanisha Hasi. Let's publish a question here. Can you reduce chargebacks without requesting IDs? Is a signature not enough? That's a really great question, actually.
Me.
Go for
So
it.
that's very good question. So the way we do chargeback protection is actually a lot better than ID signature. It's a lot better than that. It's deeper than that. So to cut the long story short, what we do is whenever a payment is about to be made, and you've probably seen this on different applications. Let's say you want to log into your bank, they ask you for OTP. We do something very similar when it comes to payments, right? So because of our integration, we connect to the issuing bank, and the issuing bank sends the card holder a code, right? It can be anything. It can be a code. It can be to verify on the app, different methods. And what would essentially happen is when it's time to pay, the card holder gets a way to verify it's them making that payment, and they would do it, and then the protection or the liability shifts from you as a host to the bank. Right, that's how we do chargeback protection, and that's why we say it's 100% chargeback protection, because the liability shift, because of that OTP, because of that process with the issuing bank, moves away from you as a host, you as a property manager, to the bank, right? So again, it's deeper than just ID collection. And I know a lot of other partners talk about ID collection and all these different things, but it's deeper than that, right? It goes more to the issuing bank. Austin, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about, the chargebacks, like fraudulent chargebacks, and then what I would call like friendly fraud is when a guest is staying with you, paid for it, but then says, oh, the place was not as clean as I wanted it, so I'm going to issue a chargeback. They're not denying that they didn't stay there. They just didn't like the service anymore. The entire profile that we have collected can, with the signature, with the ID, this can also help you fight those types of chargebacks, because your guest is agreeing to your terms and services, your rental agreement that would probably say something like that you cannot actually refund the stay due to those types of issues, right?
No, absolutely. That's a really great question, Kanisha. I hope I've said your name correctly, by the way. And I also want to add that I have personal experience in this. So like you said, on the signature front, it's not enough. And so you need to kind of follow this process to protect yourself and reduce that chargeback to zero. So it can be done. So ChargeAutomation can definitely help you do that. Let's go to the next question, guys. Let's go to, how about Russell? He actually asked the question, when is the AI auto verification going to be live? So Toyin, this is really on you, I think.
It's live, auto verification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So done that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's live. Please connect to. I wish there was a way I could drop like a link on how to do it. We have an article that we have. Is there any way? I don't know.
We'll put it on the comment actually afterwards. So Russell, actually, what we'll do is we'll tag an article in your comment just to give you the answers that you need there. So it'll be a little bit after the live session, but I'll put that on there so you have clear instructions on how to enable that. So all good stuff. Actually, we have another question here from Kanisha. I'm going to go because I'm going down the list here. So another good one. What's the difference when you take payment as opposed to Stripe taking it? That's actually a good question.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely take that one. So great question. I think one of the biggest things ChargeAutomation is you want to automate your process, right? You want to automate your process. So for example, you can use Stripe, right? You can use Stripe, but you would have to go on Stripe for every guest, for every booking, for every split payment to create a link to send it to your guest, right? People have done that in the past, but you can't do that anymore moving forward, because again, it's okay if you manage one property and you're doing that. If you manage even 5 properties, we met clients with 5 properties. You can't do that with 5 properties. You can't do that with even, I'm looking for a number that's a good enough number, like 3 properties. It's a lot of work, right? What you want to do is automate that process, number one. Number two, you can do that for reservation payment if you have one property, but what about upsells? How do you collect the payment for upsells? Do you send them a link? Do you send them 2 links for 2 different upsells? Do you send them 3 links for 3 different upsells, right? So the hassle and the time consuming effort it's going to take to use Stripe directly is why ChargeAutomation exists, is to take away the manual work from you every single day for every single booking, so you can focus on being a property manager. You can focus on getting more bookings while we handle the automation piece of everything else, right? Now, instead of using Stripe directly, the other thing is ChargeAutomation gives you the ability to do upselling, the ability to give you a guidebook, everything embedded into a guest journey, right? So all in one software is what I think the slogan we go by is one link, one journey, every guest. And we live by that, right? Yeah, so that's my take on that. Honestly, is the ease, the automation, you not having to send multiple links for how would you do secure deposit, how would you do damage waiver, how would you do taxes, upsell, all these different things, right? That's where we come in play to help you automate that process.
Great stuff.
And then the one last thing, I always get, like, when I talk about Stripe payments, the next thing I'll get is, oh, I'm taking my payments through the OTAs. It's no problem. The biggest thing about these payments is your cash flow as well. If you have a guest that's booking on Airbnb 3 months in advance, you're not seeing that payment for 3 months plus the extra, 10 days it takes after the guest has checked out. So when you're using ChargeAutomation, we're connecting your Stripe account automatically. That money is going directly into your account right away. So you have more flexibility to, to run your business a bit more safely.
Nice. All right, great question. Hopefully that answers that for you, Kanisha. Let's move on to the next question. Here's a good one from Christine. Christine Mitchell, you can capture multiple guests, but can you have each guest sign their own waiver and verify on her end if it's signed or not?
So there's a few ways you can do this. Something we can definitely talk. Maybe you send us a message to a support team. We do have a few clients that have a way around this. Is using custom question. You can embed the form. Once it's signed, they can upload and stuff like that. Right. So there's a way to do this, Christy. So please reach out to our support, and we can definitely help you out.
Awesome, nice one. And she had one more question. Actually, we'll follow up with that one. Can you increase the damage deposit amount as more upsells are added? So my upsells are more rental items. That's actually a good question.
Yes, you can. You can increase the deposit for the upsell on a booking level if you wanted to. So it's a feature you can do. And again, reach out to support. We can definitely show you how to get it done. But up the top of my head, you go to the booking, click on secure deposit, click on edit amount, and then you change it right there, and then you're good to go.
That's awesome. And I guess that would be great for things like e-bike rentals and stuff like that, because essentially you're renting an additional item. Awesome. That's really cool. And that just goes to show, by the way, I really want to jump in there. Sorry, I'm doing this side, but that really does show the flexibility that we can have with ChargeAutomation. It's not just your straightforward, upsell, pay for it, you're done. We add a lot of payment rules in place, and we can actually offer that flexibility that you might need. So it's very, very customizable, or as simple as you need it to be, which is really great. Awesome. Let's move on. Tracy Kelly. How do these features get rolled out? Are we using the portal now, or so do we want to make sure this is? We are using the portal now, so want to make sure this is seamless.
Great question. What we're doing for this exclusive, I don't want to say exclusive, but just to make it sound a lot cooler, exclusive webinar is, if you want to be added to the rollout of our new guest portal pre-check-in, please reach out to a support team or leave a comment on the chat. We're going to add you to that, so you'll be one of the first to get this on your account. So again, please reach out to support. Is it? I guess support would be the best way, so we can keep track of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Please reach out to support and just say, hey, I want to be added for the new guest portal pre-check-in, and we'll get you on that right away.
Brilliant stuff. Like I said, it's a slow, I think it was mentioned earlier, this is a slow rollout. We're doing exactly the same thing for Hospedajes. So as and when we're ready, we will be rolling out slowly but surely and offering those features to you. So this is pretty standard anyway. We don't want to kind of roll out. So we're just being, it's just the cautious way of rolling out with any software development. All right, let's go to a slightly different question. So Kyle asked a question. Here we go. So can we collect when they're arriving without requiring to fill out how they're arriving? Can we collect? I presume you mean payments. Fill out how they're arriving.
Or I feel like maybe this is about the custom questions and collecting information about their arrival. So we do have some built-in questions that you can just kind of turn on, turn off. But if they don't perfectly work for you, we can recreate the exact thing you need in those custom questions. Yeah. So we could, exactly how you said, Kyle, we can pretty much, when are you arriving, but we don't actually mind how you are arriving. We just want to know that, and we can make sure that's sent and then pushed into the PMS as well, which is really nice.
Brilliant. And he also asked, actually, is the verification to PMS ready now? And we already answered that question. Yes, it is. So we've already got that one from an early one. Okay, so we have another one here. This is Daniel from Dakama Property Group. Can I set the damage at 25% of the total booking revenue, but charge a minimum £100 for each booking? So that was one of the questions that came in advance, actually. So Austin, I guess, or Toyin, which one of you guys can answer that one?
Yeah, well, I can take it. So, of course, yeah, this is definitely something that we're able to do. There's tons of customizations when it comes to damage deposits and payments. So, yeah, you can pretty much set that the default is the 25% of the total booking revenue, but then also make sure that there's at least a minimum that £100 for each booking. You can really play around with that. There's also abilities to change the damage deposit based off length of stay. Really, any way you want to customize and make sure your security deposits are being taken the way that you need them to be.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. We've actually got a few. In fact, we have a hospital that has question. I'm going to put that one on next, actually, because that's an interesting one. And it's actually our first one. It probably doesn't all fit on here. Okay, so he's got a number of questions. This is Prospero, and I'm guessing in Spain. When will the new features be live? So let's start with that one first. So, Toyin.
Yeah, like I mentioned, please. I see some people in the chat already added that they want to be added.
Yeah, I've seen those. So we'll check those actually over to after the call.
Yeah, perfect. So if you don't mind just sending a message to the support so we can add you to that. So a lot of these features are already live. Most of them are already live. So if you want to be added to it, just send us a message and we'll just add it on your account.
Brilliant. So Prospero's actually got a ton of questions here. So we'll try and go through each of them. You put them all in one chat. So we'll try and get them all done there. So the next one is, will the integration with SES Hospitalidades be automatic, or do we need to ask engineers to set it up? So I guess, well, Toyin, you're best to answer this one.
Yeah, perfect question. It's automatic. So all you need is your credentials, put it into ChargeAutomation, and we take everything else from there. So you don't have to do anything else except you just get your credentials, put it into ChargeAutomation.
Brilliant.
So you don't need engineers, no.
Yeah, no, awesome, great stuff. That makes it really simple. And in fact, I've actually seen this on my end. You know, you get the details from Hospitalidades themselves. So you get your password, you get your establishment code, and you get the goodness me, I forget the name of the other item. I forget what it's called again. Nevertheless, there are 3 pieces of information. You put those in, and that's it, essentially, isn't it? So great stuff. Yeah. He had another question. I have different smart locks, but your integration with TT Lock only allows you to add one. To be solved soon. I think this is a case of how many new integrations we're going to have. So we've just got remote lock in there. So Prospero, I guess we need to know which smart lock you want to integrate. It might already be on the roadmap. So
I'm just trying to understand the question. I have different smart locks, but your integration with TT only allows you to add one. Would this be solved soon? I'm not sure what you mean by add one. So we pull all, so when you connect your TT lock within ChargeAutomation, we pull all your locks, and all you have to do is connect your property to the lock. So if there's something I'm missing there, please maybe you can leave another comment about that. But we should pull all your locks into ChargeAutomation. Brilliant.
Prospero, it would be great if you could actually reach out to our customer experience team, and they're definitely able to assist you with this on this matter, 100%. So he has another good question. Does credit card information integrate directly from the PMS into the platform? So I'm guessing, so if the PMS pulls in credit card data, does that get pulled into ChargeAutomation?
So I'm just reading it again on my end to show. So this is actually a good question. The way this works is it depends. Some PMSs we can fetch the car, some of them we pull it directly from the payment gateway. So it depends on the use case, right? So again, like I think it would be super helpful to get on a call with you. I don't want to butcher your names, Prospero. If we can get on a call with you and kind of answer a lot of these questions, I know it's stuff we already fixed that we have access to, so we just need to get on a call, kind of show you how it works in more details.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's a couple on here, actually. I think I can answer one of them. Will we be able to show guest portal pictures of the room type? And that's an absolute yes, you can. It's all individual per room, so you can customize it per room. So that is fully customizable. And then obviously how fast the sync process is with the PMS. I think those questions, if we take them on a call, but certainly, yeah, it's from my end as a user, it's very quick. But obviously it depends on the number of rooms you have, of course. So that should be no issue at all. But yeah, Prospero, please do reach out to us. I'll drop you a message. We'll set up a call with one of our customer experience agents. So let me just see what else we have on the list, because there's still a lot. There's a lot of questions on here, which is fantastic, by the way. So we have, let me look at the pinned ones. Sorry for the delay here, guys. There's a lot of questions.
Yes,
Vishan has a very long question. I think what we will do, Vishan, is actually we'll get back to you. Essentially, we can probably give you a quick question here. I was wondering if it's possible to have the company name displayed on text messages, similar to how it appears on the emails when we send it to guests. That's a great question. This will not only make communication look more professional, but also help build trust with our guests. At the moment, the messages are coming from unfamiliar numbers. So this is a problem, I think, with generally with Twilio, isn't it? So essentially, this is but that's a great question.
Yeah, it's a good question. And to your point, yeah, this is something because of, so we use Twilio, as you know, to send messages. But again, we always try to improve our integrations. We always try to make, add new features, which is why we're doing this call, and to get feedback, right? So this is great feedback. So something we're going to take back, something we're already looking into, and we'll definitely update you once this is possible.
Great stuff. I've got one question here, and this actually come from Catherine from Kingfisher Apartments. I run a number of property rentals within a simple complex and be using Hospedades. Am I able to move my guests between rooms without having to create a new booking each time? And would the move impact Hospedades, presumably the entry into Hospedades? So if she needs to move between rooms.
Yeah, so whenever you make any updates, we update Hospedades. I think I said that probably for the first time in my life. I've never said that word. Hospedades. So yes, whenever we make that update, whatever update you make to your reservation, it would get reflected and it would update. I just say SES, not again, Hospedades. It would update Hospedades automatically, so you don't have to do anything.
All right, great stuff. Cool. And I think we've got time for one more question, guys, because we're going to run over. So let's start with this one. This is Gwen from Spinnaker. I would like to collect some additional information during the guest self-check-in, like the vehicle number and registration details. Is it possible to add that into the check-in flow? I think that's a really cool question because it comes up a lot.
Yeah. And yeah, just kind of we were talking about a little bit before the customization. Yeah, you could definitely have your guest plug in the vehicle number, like their license plate number, any information you need about the vehicle. Yeah, that's
awesome. Great stuff. Okay, we're running out of time here, guys. So Austin, I'm going to hand over to you for our wrap-up, basically. That was awesome, guys. Yes.
I apologize. Just to jump in there, I saw a comment that said your website is very slow loading. Do you have any improvements made for the speed? Yes. Great question, Stephen. We do have a lot of improvements. So the biggest thing for us also is the new pre-check-in and guest portal. We sat down as a team and said, what is the biggest friction point? The biggest friction point was it took time to go from one tab to the next tab to the next tab. So what we've done is greatly improve the speed of our application. So you shouldn't have the issues moving forward in terms of speed. So it's something we're always improving. That's something I take on personally, is the speed of application. So you shouldn't have any issues moving forward. And super excited to hear your feedback once we release it in your account. And again, the last thing I would say is, if you do want these features on your account, please send us a message to support, and then we can enable it for you. Thank you so much. Sorry, we can go ahead, Austin.
No, that's cool. I just want to add one other thing. If we didn't answer your question and you put it in the comments, we will get back to you one by one. So just because we didn't answer it here, we will answer it on the chat. So the answer is available to everybody for everybody to see. So great stuff.
And yeah, and
thank you so much for the questions.
Yeah, exactly. Now for the next live session, we'll know to budget a lot more time for the Q&A. That was great. Really appreciate everybody asking questions. So just in case, I know we do have a lot of current customers, which is so fantastic to see. If you are thinking about joining ChargeAutomation, just a few things that you'll be able to get, saving around 30 minutes per booking on internal tasks. Of course, we're going to be protecting your properties and boosting your upsell revenue. We'll be integrating with your PMS, your payment gateway that you need. And yeah, the setup is less than an hour. So no dev requirement, no coding, nothing like that. We have a fantastic team of customer success members that will be able to get you set up fast. And yeah, we also have an exclusive offer for you live attendees, which is really exciting. So as you know, big thank you. We want to kind of give all of you a free custom domain. So that means when we're sending out the emails, sending out the links, it's going to actually have your company name in the URL, which really helps push that brand recognition and the overall seamless experience. Because I know a couple questions came out about that. So for the Essential plan, this is one of the paid plans. For new and existing customers, you'll be able to get 3 months free. On the Pro plan or the Professional plan, that would be, you're going to get 6 months free, which is fantastic. So that's take advantage of those changes. So yeah, as long as you just use the April live sessions when speaking to our customer support team, they'll be able to get you set up. And yeah, reach out. We'll same thing to the customer to the support team, and we'll enable your custom domain. And just make sure you do that before February, or it's not February. Did I say that? Friday, the 11th of April. And of course, yeah, myself, Toy, and Nick, we're also available for you for questions moving forward as well. So thank you very, very much for joining.
Thank you, guys. Really great. Thank you for joining. We'll see you the next one.
Yeah, we'll see the next one. Fantastic.